Hey, good evening. Let's talk to sports family, and welcome to Dwayne and myself show where we talk about the NFL. And this is week 15 already. Only two more weeks after tonight's and tomorrow's game. Weeks are flying by fast and furious. And me and Dwayne, we don't really have much to say today because it was some real bad football, and it's only a couple of things that we want to discuss. A couple issues that we know that a couple guys that do follow us would like to discuss with us, and we're gonna get right to it. The New York Football Giants. Um, Dwayne and myself are both lifelong Cowboy fans, but we grew up in the New York area, and a lot of our friends and family are New York Giant fans. So me and Dwayne have said it's funny, over the last 3 years, me and Dwayne have always said, what are they gonna do with the way that they drafted? They drafted the New York Football Giants drafted a running back before their quarterback. And that always brings complications because running back shelf life is less than 3 years, and the average NFL football player is like 3.5 years. And with a quarterback, you try to build your team up before the quarterback comes up on his fifth year to get the franchise money. So we knew that the Giants was going to be in the position they're in, except with one exception, we didn't realize that their team would be as bad as they are. Um, Me and Dwayne are actually shocked that the Giants are not putting out a better football team. So with that, Dwayne,
Here's the thing, man. This ain't hate. Y'all know I love football, man. And before I even get into these Giants, shout out to the 2021 NFC East champion Dallas Cowboy football team. You like what I did with that
yeah,
Dallas Cowboy football team?
yeah,
Yeah. New York Giants, blow it up, and start over. Rumors came out today that they're gonna keep Joe Judge and Daniel Jones, and they're gonna promote someone in the house to the GM position. I don't know what John Mara's doing. His father handled business the right way. He was very professional, but he was no nonsense. I think part of the problem with Mara right now is for the past about 4 or 5 years he's been paying three coaches because of the coaching changes that he's made. So I think he doesn't want to make a change like at the coach because he doesn't feel like maybe he's done so many coaching changes in the last 10 years. But Joe Judge is not Bill Belichick, and he wants to operate like he's Bill Belichick, and he's not Jim. He's not Bill Belichick. I tried to tell Giant fans last week, they didn't listen to me. Don't fall for Jake from State Farm. We were in prevent when he had that last drive. You saw what happened today. He's not an NFL quarterback, man. He's a backup. He's a third. He's a third quarterback. He's somebody that should be inactive every week. You understand?
hmm
Mike Lennon's terrible. Giants, you gotta look yourselves in the mirror. Okay, you are at a crossroads. You took
quick
a number
question.
two pick in Saquon Barkley, and he had a great rookie year. But you gotta say he's a bust now. And are you gonna sign him? Listen,
He's up for a max deal.
yeah. As a Cowboy fan last week, I like that Barkley was on the field and Booker was on the sideline. Booker scared me more than Barkley. Kenny Galladay was a terrible free agent signing, which goes with Nate Soldier. That was a terrible free agent signing. Will Hernandez, I said it on that draft day. He was not a good guard in the NFL. Gettleman has failed this organization, but you're going to bring a new GM in and saddle him with a head coach and quarterback. If you're bringing a new GM in, you might as well blow the whole thing up. I hate to use that term, but that's what you need to do. It's putrid football. I tried to watch it today. Guess what? I took a nap. Sleep was better than watching NFL football today. That's terrible. I took
In
a
weeks
nap.
in week 16 in the NFL.
I'm done with the Giants. That's it. Maybe
Um,
somebody in the chat got something. I don't know. I'm done with it,
like
man.
I said, I'm with you. I'm surprised at what they're doing. I just think that right now to say that you're going to go with this quarterback and a in-house GM, no matter what, I think you're crazy. I think you're taking Russell Wilson off the board by even saying it. I would give up those first 2 picks for Russell Wilson, then try to trade Saquon and Daniel Jones for at least some second rounders and third round picks. The Giants is a team that I just don't understand. You can get in the NFL, you can get good quick if you have a savvy personnel guy. Louis Riddick. Everybody's been advocating for Louis Riddick. I've never heard a guy be talked about in so much NFL circles as far as personnel on so many networks, which is interesting because I think the networks realize how much they'll lose if he gets hired as an NFL personnel guy. I think it's screaming. I think if Jacksonville is smart, they will hire Louis Riddick as their personnel guy and then let Louis Riddick pick a coach. Because the franchises need to move forward in the right direction. So I'm surprised on the Giants front, but as a Cowboy fan, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But it's just bad because
4 more years
for the New York Giants.
4 more years. 4 more years.
For the New York Giants fans, it was kind of sad because I know they're upset. They got every right to be upset with this inept football that we saw today. But
listen, the only thing the Giants fans got to look forward to is cheering against the Dallas Cowboys because they do that better than they do anything. Moving on.
Mr. Staley.
It's time, man. Like, this is a team that got rid of Anthony Lynn, right? And they bring a whiz kid in, from the Sean McVay coaching tree. And this Charger team is 8-7 with the fair-haired, strong-arm quarterback that everybody says the future of this league. And he does crazy things with analytics, going for all these 4th downs, going for 2-point conversions. And he's not getting blasted by the letter networks. And he should be. Because I question his play calling. All right? So here's what we're going to do because we're not going to spend a lot of time, right? But, we want to be a well-rounded show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run through the 1 o'clock scores. That's it. We ain't going to get into no analytics of it. 34-10 Eagles over Giants.
Still in contention for a playoff spot.
30-23 Rams over the Vikings. They clinched the division.
Might have finished the Vikings season right there.
Right. 33-21 Bills over the Patriots. The Bills are alive to win the AFC.
Huge win for Buffalo's franchise.
The Buccaneers 32, the Panthers 6. I love Matt Rule, but I got to start questioning the direction of his program. New York Jets 26, Jaguars 21. Who cares? Falcons 20, Lions 16. Who cares? The Texans 41-29 Chargers. Not good. We just spoke briefly about it. Man, we're going to get into Joey B in a minute. 41-29 over the Ravens. Bears 25, Seahawks 20.
Dwayne, I lost your voice. Dwayne. Dwayne would probably have to go out and come back in. He was running through the scores. He had just got finished with the Buffalo, the Joe Barrow score.
Listen, I don't know what happened. The feed is so bad because the NFL was bad today. But I'm back. I froze, but I'm back. That's how putrid it is. Now let's get into Joey B, man. The one Joe Barrow. Dwayne Lamont Morris. Yeah, I gave you the full government. Dwayne Lamont Morris. On this day, December 26th, in the year of our Lord of 2021, would like to publicly apologize to Joe Barrow because I thought he was no good. I didn't think he would have an NFL career. I thought he was a product of Joe Brady's offense at LSU with Chase, with Jefferson, with all these guys that's making plays in the NFL. Mr. Joe Barrow, I apologize.
way better than I thought. Surprised me.
Come on.
Organization went out on a limb and got his receiver instead of got a lineman. Their offense is just lighting it up. The numbers he put up today, they should just take the football, the cleats, the jersey, and take it to Canton, leave it in Ohio. Because if you look at those numbers, you very rarely see quarterbacks put those numbers up unless it's a shootout with no turnovers. Kid threw for over 525 yards today. Less than 10 incompletions. Just simply amazing. It goes to show that you never know with quarterbacks and systems, no matter how good a guy looks prior to the draft or how bad he looks, he gets in the right system and gets the right coaching and know how to coach him up. Because me and you had criticized this coach last year, Zach Taylor, and obviously he knew something. He's learning how to run the football, take some of the pressure off of Barrow. But for the people that's the Bengals fans, they got a promising young quarterback. Yeah. Anthony Price, you're exactly right. They made him look like the MVP front runner.
They did.
We know that the Ravens got backup secondary players, but unfortunately, they're professionals and you in the contention. So Barrow looked awesome today. I mean, truly amazing.
The old Marion variant is running rapid through the NFL, and so you don't know what's going to happen. But a lot of key players have been missing. But I want to talk about something that I think, for me, there's two things that have been the theme of the 2021 NFL football season. I hope we got enough people in here that may chat on this. Just from my perspective, there's two things that's bothering me with the NFL this year. Three things. And y'all know my motto. Never trust the field goal kicker. These field goal kickers are terrible, folks. They're missing extra points. It's bad. NFL kicking is bad, man. It's bad. Okay? That's number one. Number two, analytics are starting to ruin the game that I love. Okay? You see it week after week after week. These coaches making decisions, going for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory. Listen, I'm not going to knock John Harbaugh last week. I thought it was a great idea, him going for 2. Because you don't want to mess with Aaron Rodgers in overtime. That was the best opportunity they had to win. I just didn't like the play call. So these analytics is bothering me. And 3, the number one thing that's bothering me. I'm saying it's third, but it's the number one thing that's bothering me in 2021. NFL officiating is terrible. It's at an all-time low. It's time for the NFL to make these guys full-time employees so they could be graded every week, weekly, graded, going over what they did, and not have to worry about having a job, okay? NFL needs to hire these officials full-time, man. It's time. Major League Baseball officials, they're full-time. NBA officials, they're full-time. It's time for the NFL to make these guys full-time. We need younger people in here. We got Opie Cunninghams running up and down the sidelines every week. Silver-haired white men. Yeah, I said it. Silver-haired white men. You're not going to get young people. You're not going to get diversity until you start making this a full-time position.
One of the things that I noticed with the refereeing, they try to put an emphasis on quarterback, but even some of the quarterbacks, certain quarterbacks are really getting hit in the head. A lot of crazy plays where they'll call stuff that's not there, and then miss calls that's blatant. You have the referee and the official right behind the line of scrimmage. They moved that move about 6 years ago. Very, very interesting thing. I agree with you. I do think the referees do need to get paid full time. Anthony Price, you're exactly right. 3 things. Vegas is paying the refs. COVID is real. Throw the Chargers in Arizona and the Raven team in the trash. The Raven team, one thing that I will say about the Ravens is at least the coach won a chip before. So you could kind of understand his decisions, even if you don't agree with him. And he does have this gambler way about it because of the injuries they've had. Arizona is showing who they really are. They literally have abandoned the run. This is a team that passes to set up the run. And this coach does not understand that you take your small quarterback, and if a defense keeps him in the pocket, he can't see over the line. A lot of his passes yesterday was overthrows, underthrows, and that's what you just asked. You asked your ends to be disciplined. And Arizona is really showing who they are. They're going to struggle without Hopkins, and they might not make it to the playoffs. They haven't clinched yet, so they're in trouble.
They clinched today with some of the
Okay,
things that have happened, so they got a
okay.
playoff spot.
So with
But
with the Chargers, Anthony, Dwayne, and myself have been saying for the last 3 weeks, man, that this guy should have never got the job. We've been on it because we felt as though Anthony Lynn should have kept the job because a lot of players on the Chargers was hurt last year, and then all of a sudden they fired this guy. He had 1 year as a coordinator, and they had the number one defense in the league. It's easy to have the number one defense in the league with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. So they give him this job, and what has he done? What has he done? I mean, the kid is probably digressing at quarterback.
Right. Two more things I want to say before I move on. First thing I want to say is salute to you, Anthony Price. Thank you for being in the comments. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you. We hope you come back again. Number two, before I move on, Maria Taylor looks absolutely lovely tonight on NBC. So shout out to Maria Taylor. Okay. Here's two quarterbacks in the NFL right now that have to adjust who they are. One, Kyler Murray. Two, Dak Prescott. Kyler Murray, teams are going to keep you in the pocket now. Okay? You have to adjust. I don't know if you need a 7-step drop to get a little bit back from the line of scrimmage. That may be what they need to do. Cliff Kingsbury may get him dropping deeper so he can get the ball over these offensive linemen. Dak Prescott is the number one quarterback against blitzes in the NFL this year. Since the Broncos game, teams are not blitzing. They're playing coverage against the Cowboys. They're going too high safeties. They're mixing with zones. Dak is not reading well. Okay, so two big things going into the playoffs. Kyler Murray has to make adjustments. Dak Prescott has to make adjustments.
I agree. Gonna make the show short. I mean, it wasn't much else going on. We're gonna definitely try to come back next week, do our shows. Have a playoff preview. We'll probably have to do on a Friday or a Thursday because we know the playoffs start on that
But
Saturday.
before we wrap up, man, I had a question for Quentin Ford that I wanted to save till we got in this show. Surveying, and we know there will be more because Black Monday always comes. But surveying the league and seeing what jobs are open presently, what do you think is the best situation to step into as a new head coach?
Believe it or not, for a program builder, a veteran coach that may be like on his second go around, and you could get a GM, I'd go to Jacksonville because the program it's going to take some years to. You got to clean house. You got to do scouting. You got to do everything. Got to be different. 3-4 years. For a win right now, probably within the next 2 years, you go get the hot shot coordinator. Look for Bieniemy. Look for Leftwich. Those guys should be coming up. Those guys should be well overdue. I think Bieniemy probably is better equipped for a job now than he was before because he had to get his great young quarterback to understand you got to dink and dunk sometime, buddy. And even he had to learn that. I know, Anthony, you said Josh McDaniel. I think Josh is definitely going to stay in New England. I think Josh and Bill, one thing that's quirky about their relationship and how they're made up, they love challenges. The Mac Jones thing is a challenge for them to prove everybody else in the league wrong. So I think Josh is definitely going to stay until the coach retires. I think we might have seen the end of the college coach experience. You brought about your favorite coach, Matt Rule. Matt Rule may survive this year, but Matt Rule is on notice for going into next year.
He's on the clock.
Tepper gave him a lot of leeway as the owner, and he's a Wall Street guy. Them guys got money, and they like to invest, and they like to see returns on their investment quick. I think the Giants are going to stay pat, which I don't agree with, but that's something that they choosing to do. It's going to be interesting going forward. A lot of these young quarterbacks, I'm surprised these organizations didn't get veteran backups. Washington football team, that investigation is still going on, and we don't know what's going to happen with that. He might get stripped of the team. Ron Rivera, we don't know why he didn't get a good veteran quarterback, which behooves all of us. So looking forward to next year, as they say, Black Monday. It's going to be interesting. It may be some coaches that had quote unquote good years far as record, but they're out of here. I'm upset that Matt Nagy's going to fall on the sword, but not Price. They
Let me
need to
say
clean
this.
house in Chicago.
Let me say this. Kudos to David Culley. He took over an impossible situation with the Houston Texans, and they may not be having a great season. But one thing I do know and what I do see, this team plays their heart out for that man. And in his first opportunity as a head coach, he's accounted himself very well. I saw something from the great coach Deion Sanders today. He tweeted something in regards to Trayvon Diggs. Now, we know Trayvon Diggs has gone on record of saying Deion is his favorite player. We know I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I try not to be biased. Deion Sanders said the following. He said the Defensive Player of the Year trophy is already in Trayvon Diggs' crib. He needs to be the MVP of the league.
It's funny because he said, I had heard him with Rich Eisen this weekend. He said that he hasn't looked at tape yet. He said, once I get done with my stuff with college, I'm going to look at tape. So I guess he looked at some tape. It's interesting. Those are very lofty shoes to fill. So
here's what we want people to do that rock with us and is watching the show. Think about it, because the regular season is winding down. After this week, it's 2 games left. And we want to hear from you. Here at Let's Talk 2 Sports, we want to hear from you. We want to know who your MVPs are. We want to know who you got for Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
Anthony Price, we're both Cowboy fans. He's a Washington football fan.
Hey, man, listen, we could be friends. I think y'all being a little petty bringing in y'all designer benches, and it's going to be 80 degrees in beautiful Jerry World tonight. Listen, I got family members that's Giant fans and Eagle fans, and I love them. So Anthony Price, my brother, I can love you too. You know what I mean? I don't like y'all in all burgundy tonight. It's bothering me, but it's okay. But
is they doing the all burgundy on burgundy or burgundy with white pants?
They doing all burgundy.
Oh, that was the Joe Gibbs stuff right there.
The Washington football team going all burgundy tonight. Anthony Price. It's the holiday season, my brother, and it's a new year coming. And we can live in peace and harmony tonight.
Hey, Anthony Price, I'm gonna put the YouTube link up. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We used to do some stuff. We used to do some stuff on our other channel that we got, but we decided to start a sports YouTube channel that's exclusively for sports. Dwayne is a lifelong, basically, coach of what you would say is Pee Wee or Pop Warner football, and we got some interesting content. Dwayne is also a big Michigan sports fan. My college football team is putrid right now. They down there in South Florida looking crazy.
It's all right. They're hosting us wonderfully. Go Blue.
Yes. But with that, man, great show tonight. Anthony Price, great new guy. Start watching our product. We appreciate you, like Dwayne said, and hopefully
hey, listen,
you come back.
In closing, we don't try to be political. I'm just going to say happy holidays. That's going to cover everything. Whatever you celebrate, man, do it. Be merry. Be safe. Whatever you call it, it's in the building, like the great Fat Joe said. So everybody be safe, man. And let's hope for a better Sunday night game than we've seen today, and may the best team win. And hopefully I will be with a little holiday cheer at the end of tonight. Q, as always, I love you, brother. I respect you. I appreciate you for allowing me to run my mouth on this platform. And hey, man, let's just all be safe. Let's be kind. Let's love on one another, even if we're on opposite sides of the fence.
with that, everybody take care. See you guys next week.